Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I was pretty excited here because I love playing the Mets. I love everything about their logo, that cityscape and bridge behind their logo. I love their stadium. I love their lineup. They've got one of the best pitchers in baseball with Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom is amazing. Now that they got Pete Alonso on the team, Zach Wheeler, I mean, this team looked so good. They totally underperformed. If there's any team I'd love to see in the World Series, if we get there again, if we get there again, would be somebody like either the Mets or the Dodgers. I would love to see the Dodgers have a chance to have revenge on us. And if we beat them twice, then great. If we don't, then great. You know, what can we do? You know, it's a game. You know, the Astros are the only team that I grew up with. So that's the only team I know, and I don't know how to, as we know, there's a big scandal about us right now. And so, anyway, all you can do at some point is just kind of let go of it or laugh at it or something. But anyway, everybody that's an Astros fan, just relax. Just take the heat. The story will calm down in a few months. But when you're talking about the biggest scandal with the biggest name in baseball, then once again, biggest scandal, biggest name in baseball, it's hot news. And the emotion and venom. I had a subscriber that was like, oh my God, the legendary status of the Astros is finally over. And I was like, oh, so you thought we were legendary? So, basically, the attention has been on us for quite a while now. And a lot of people expected us to win the World Series, and when we didn't, which can happen, a lot of people are going to come after the fact that we should have won and we choked, and that's the way sports goes. But hey, attention comes with a good and bad, and I'm cool with that. And that's the way I've seen all these comments all along. And I was just sharing you guys who care about what I was thinking about that situation. When you're vaulted up to the top of the hill, people are going to try to knock you off. Anytime you show a weakness, then basically that is going to be incredibly, how do you say? It's just going to be, you're going to see a lot of venom, a lot of comments. So they expect great teams to perform in every minute, which is not the way it works. I thought overall, we'll get back to the game here in just a second. I'll give you like a couple more seconds of playoff news. I thought overall we never were fully clicking once we got that beautiful batting lineup that should have overperformed all year long. And I didn't think we looked like ourselves in the playoffs all along. I thought Tampa Bay had a chance to beat us. I thought the Yankees looked fantastic. I thought we looked horrible against Tanaka. And so then we meet the Nationals, who came rolling into the World Series, and they could have actually swept us. And we brought ourselves back and extended it to a Game 7. And then we became ourselves again, which was underperforming. And if you look at Game 7, we only scored 2 runs. We didn't score 4 or 5 runs or 6 or 7 runs. Our DNA, we should score with this lineup 5 to 7 runs, which would have given us, if it was 6-2, which would have been either 6-5, 6-6, or 7-6. We win, we tire, we lose. But we underperformed in that game. Even putting a man on base with one more home run puts us at 6-4. Anyway, I thought we underperformed, and I thought that they pulled Zach Greinke out. At the time, I thought it was at the right time, but in hindsight, they should have left him in a little bit longer. But once you make a decision, you have to live with that decision forever. And as we get older, we realize that the decisions we make in our lives, we do have to live with. Anyway, let's get back to the game, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the playoffs, because maybe a couple of you are curious about what I was thinking, and I just think we underperformed and got lucky to get as far as we did. And my hat's off to the Tampa Bay Rays, the New York Yankees, and the Washington Nationals. All great teams, played very well. And Altuve gave us pretty much the greatest moment of the season. I would say the equal one to that would be also Howie Kendrick's home run against Clayton Kershaw. I would say those were the two biggest plays of the year, but I would say that the Altuve home run was the biggest play of the year, hands down. With MLB, the top 100 plays, it only ranked 15th, which I thought was way low. I would say it's the biggest play of the year, straight up. Also, if you want like the biggest story of the year, that would be the Washington Nationals story. That was we're not talking about the scandal, but them going from 19-31 and finishing 65-35 towards the end of the year and rolling through the playoffs. That is the biggest story of the year. But the biggest play of the year was the Altuve home run by far. Second place, like I said, was the Howie Kendricks against Clayton Kershaw home run. Those moments were beautiful. Okay, I have switched from what's called the PCI interface of reticle to wedge, and you can see right now I'm going a little bit in and up. I'm putting it as close to his hand without covering his hand as I can, and you can see me shifting around the interface. But this guy, okay, you can see me, I'm going towards the ball right there, and it just lets my eyes target that spot. And basically, I'm putting that little dot right under his glove. And you have to do what works for you, but this is what works for me. And right now, you're just moments away from seeing this guy start to get shellacked by me. And I don't, that's probably, oh, I'm probably wrong here, but I think that's one of the last bad pitches of the game I swing at. This only goes like 3 innings because he starts to get shellacked by me, but we're going to see. Do I hit the apple in center field? We're going to see a lot of things. Okay, there we go. Oh, and that's his first big error. I should have taken I should have run towards second base, but I was so shocked that he did not catch that. Okay, here's the dialogue box of the player quirks, the pitching matchup, and the next 3 batters. It's just kind of information boxes. Okay, once again, wedge going up by the glove. Oh. And this is one of the big plays, is that I run back and he should have gotten me out, but there was a bad throw. I have a feeling he's using meter. And unless you're really good at this game, you do not want to use meter for throwing. I don't use meter for throwing because I don't want to create my own errors. I'm just not ready for meter. When it comes to batting, I'm still toying around with the interfaces, but you have to use eventually zone hitting. Oh, he missed that too. He missed that too. So weird. Yeah, this guy's got to be a really new player. And I score at home. For batting, you have to evolve to zone hitting. With the PCI interface, I've had more success with wedge and with reticle. Reticle, I like it, but I like wedge the most because you have that dot in the center. With pitching, they do say use pure analog, and I see why pure analog works in a way, but I think if you want pure accuracy, it's meter. You want to use meter. That would be a debate. For some people, meter works, and for some people, pure analog works. Either way, pure analog or meter, you'll be just fine. You'll enjoy the game. Pure analog is a really fun way to play the game because you're targeting the spots and you're using. Anyway, I'll explain pure analog later. Right now, I'm just using classic pitching. When I really want to win online, this is my big hit of the game. Not the only big hit of the game, but that's what gets me to advance and start winning this game and start and he slides in. Citi Field is such a beautiful park. Zach Greinke. He's hit 2 home runs in a game, I think twice in his career. Drinking my coffee. Okay, so you can see here. I'm using wedge, which is under PCI interface, and that is a horrible mistake. There's your apple up close. Right at 10 minutes into the video, there's your apple up close. I am later on going to attempt to hit that apple. I can't remember. I think it's with Bregman.
Here comes the first pitch. Fouled away.
And there's my high fastball on the inside of the plate right there. I'm going to go for another one. This guy has not been able to hit that spot. Obviously, he's using directional hitting. He is not using zone hitting.
0-2 pitch on its way. And they'll try to bounce a curveball on 0-2, but he holds back. It's 1-2 now.
As far as my batting viewpoint, I'm using strike zone. There's also strike zone 2 and strike zone 3, which pulls you out a little bit further. But I use just strike zone so I can see it. Strike zone and strike zone 2. It depends on my feeling, but I think for me, it's a toss-up, but I like maybe strike zone just a little bit better. Okay, let's look at the next pitch. And the check swing, the check swing here does not work very well. Luckily that was in the zone, but the check swing almost is called safe. It's almost like a broken thing in this game. See, there's another check swing right there. If you get good at the check swing, oh my God, you'll get a lot of calls towards you. I'm not good at the check swing. I overcommit still. Man, Citi Field is beautiful to look at. So much fun. Anyway, the two main points of my video is, you know, the settings that work for me, the batting settings, and also, looking at this guy getting completely shellacked here in just a second.
And this is taken by Cano for ball 4, and he's aboard.
Man, I love the Mets uniforms. I love everything about the Mets. I like their color. I like their helmet. I like their NY design. I like everything about the Mets uniforms. And one of the other YouTubers mentioned that he wants the blacks brought back, and I would the black uniforms, and I would totally agree with that. I've always thought they need to bring the blacks back. The black uniforms were so loved back in the Mike Piazza years, that were so loved by them. Oh, this is one of his really good hits. He only gets like one guy on base this whole time. But yeah, I'm going to actually do a replay here, and you guys can look at that little kink in the outfield fence right there. So I'm going to divert here for about 20 seconds. When I go to like a replay or stuff, I do like to do it really quick. Okay, I'm going to do ball view here, so highlight the ball. And you see that little kink in the outfield right there? And I was just trying to see if it measures up to be a home run. And that would not have been a home run. That would have been a low wall grab. That would have hit probably like 1 foot below the orange line right there. In Minute Maid Park, it looks kind of more yellow than orange. I thought I got a hit with Zach Greinke here, but it ends up being a little bloop to right field. Okay, now we're going to look at a couple really cool plays. I have switched, obviously, to wedge hitting right here. That's the wedge PCI interface. I really like the way the wedge works for me, and I'm going to show you why here. Bam. Okay, now here you can see the wedge right around his glove, and you can see me starting to follow the ball. There it goes, drops down to where it's going to potentially be at. You can literally see the arc of where it's going to be at with okay, home run, let's go. Okay, Altuve, the same thing again. Wedge hitting. The reason I go so slow is I want you guys to see I'm actually tracking the ball. Okay, now here I'm up by the glove, and you can see the PCI interface go to where I think it's going to be, and then boom. Granted, that isn't a very easy spot. The George Springer one was a little bit low and away. This was basically in the heart of the plate. And Altuve gets a home run in Citi Field. I love it. I love it. Okay, put that little reticle or the wedge right next to his glove again. I do not do that every time, but I do it a lot. Okay, let's see if I can track this one. That was easy. And I put the reticle or the wedge a little bit too low so it pops up. Anyway, we got about 7 more minutes of this video, and you guys are going to see me tack on a few more runs. I think the final score ends up being like 9-0, which I shouldn't tell you in advance. But okay, there's the Bregman fly towards the apple. Towards the apple. Am I going to hit the apple? And it goes short. A little clickbait there for you guys. But I really wanted to show you guys that the quirks, and he gives up. This guy's giving up. But all the little quirks inside of each stadium, I really want to hit, like Triples Alley over at AT&T Park. Now I can't remember what it's called, Oracle Park. But all these little quirks in the stadiums, I really want to play with them. I really want to get Towles Hill from hold on just a second. From MLB The Show 15, I believe it's not in 17. I believe it was taken away in the middle of 18. Here he is giving up again. And I just start to tack on the points in case he wants to jump back into it. But this guy didn't even give a good fight. And honestly, you want somebody to battle you. You want somebody to be ahead. You want to up your game. And that's how you get better. This game made me better in a couple ways, but not really. And let's see what I do here. I think I basically stop at third base or second. I'm not sure what I do. But he's basically given up. He knows. He ends up doing some weird things at the end that I edited out. Like, he'll sit there and let me hold on for 4 or 5 minutes not playing and not pitching. And I had to edit out probably like maybe 8 minutes of stuff. Like, he'll just sit there and hold on the pitches forever before he throws. That is a nice hit right there. And he doesn't try to pick it up, and he lets me have a single or a double. Now he lets me have a triple. So weird. So weird. Basically what he's trying to do, it's not maybe obvious if you guys don't play the game, but he's trying to let me score 10 runs. So then that creates the mercy rule and ends the game. Because the quickest way, actually I haven't had somebody do that so easily. When I was really only winning like 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. But he knows if I get a 3-run home run, it creates the mercy rule. And the game is over at the end of the inning. So I believe with the mercy rule, he would get to bat at the bottom of the inning, and then it would be done. Yeah, it would be at the end of the inning, the mercy rule. Okay, there's another run right there, and he probably just stands there. Yep, he does throw it. He does throw it.
And he's in there at third with a 2-out triple.
All right, Zach Greinke up to bat. We got about 3.5 more minutes left in this video, and I'm just going to do the commentary. A couple more things do happen in this game, especially how he ends the game. Wait till you see how he ends the game. I've never had somebody do this to me quite like this. But I think it's kind of cool, and it's a good idea for me to do to somebody. And he's just standing there letting me gather bases. And I stop there at second base. And then the game automatically, once you stop running, moves on to the next play. Okay, it's 9-0 now. And as you can see, I was still using wedge, and I target it. That was a little bit low low center off the plate. Now I've got 2 men on base. I'm just standing around. And I'm thinking probably 3-run home run with Altuve. Ooh, man. Okay.
Set to deliver the 0-1.
Oh, unbelievable. Okay, 2 more minutes in this video, but look at that box score. 9-0, 11-0, and 0-1. I've got 11 hits. He doesn't even have a hit, and he's got an error. And he's basically given up, pitching me beanballs, not fielding. And it's pretty ugly play here. I still didn't fall for it, and I didn't sit there and throw him middle of the plate the whole time. But unfortunately, like I have to pitch to him while he's just sitting there and taking pitches. He's made it very clear he's given up. One weird thing is I thought he was really good at the beginning because the first 2 pitches he took. And when you take the first 2 pitches, that means you're patient at bat. And I probably edited it out. Yeah, I probably edited out him putting me on hold. He put me on hold a couple times in this game. I think 3 times. And I edited it out, not letting you guys suffer through those 9 minutes that he tortured me with. But you guys can see me just throwing pitch after pitch, getting him out. And I'm just letting him know at this point that I am not going to quit. That's all I'm trying to prove right there, that I'm just straight down to business. And I'm just letting him get shellacked. Right now, 9-0, 11 to hits. I could have poured it on more, but it creates the mercy rule. And once you hit 10-0, it will drop out at the end of the inning. Okay, there's a beanball right there to see if he's going to swing at anything. Here comes another beanball. Yeah, he's not swinging. He's not playing. There's 1 minute left in this video, and you're going to see how he quits. And so he basically is not going to let me come up to bat again. So he puts me on hold here, and wait till you see what he does. It's pretty interesting. I thought it was a good idea, but it actually stops right there on the banners. And he lets me stare at those banners for almost 5 minutes. I've edited it out, but he's letting me know about their history. And like, I thought it was a really super cool way to just put something right in your face. All hats off to him. Keep playing the game, get better, practice more, you'll be okay. And there he is. He's basically exceeded the limit, and take care.